Welcome back, everyone, to an instance of one where today we'll be running the Harrowing of Morgul, which is a level 121 plus instance set in Minas Morgul, as the name implies. In this one, we are trying to take advantage of the enmity between two factions of orcs and allow ourselves to have an opportunity to kill their leaders. Now let's see what the ranger has to say. Our actions have instigated a fight between Ugrakor's forces and those loyal to Gothmog. If fortune is on our side, this may allow the rangers to proceed further into Minas Morgul. But we should do what we can to better the chances of survival, and I know just the thing to do. Defeating the commanders of each army will throw the orcs into disarray. To reach them, we will need to clear out several of the barricades between us and them, so let us begin. We need to start destroying barricades that have been set up. I think they were set up in order to keep out the other faction of orcs, but they also serve to hinder us a little bit also, I presume. Now, in order to run this instance, all you have to do is to reach level 121. There's no need for any discovery deeds, no need for any special quests or anything like that. And this is the only instance I know of in the Minas Morgul package that has no prerequisites other than, of course, the usual level prerequisites that you're going to be needing. And, oh, here we are. I thought that we'll be running into some of Ugrakor's warriors. Now, this dungeon has two sections. In the first one, Ugrakor's forces have the upper hand. So I believe that whenever we run to orcs, Ugrokors are going to win and attack us. And then we go to the second one, then it's Gothmog's forces that will do that. I think that's it. Yeah, those two are out for the moment, so let's just go on to this pair. Yeah, Ugrakor's warriors. The goblins, though, they seem not to have a special name on it. It just says Goblin Scout. Whether that means their loyalty is uncertain, or is whoever is the biggest orc in the area to tell them to do something, they're the one that they're going to follow. That sounds like the way goblins often act. There you go. So are we... Ah, yeah, there you go. Another time where Ugrakor's forces got the upper hand and killed whoever. Alright, there's no one there. I just wanted to make sure that way was clear. Unlikely anyone's going to attack us from that direction, but I just didn't want to make sure I missed our turn or anything like that. So I'm pretty sure up ahead, right up there, is where my turn is located. There we go. Next. Ah, this looks like the next one. Ugrokor Archer! And the rest of those just keep on fighting. Don't worry about this hobbit here that's killing off Ugrakor's minions piece by piece. Nothing to see here. Nothing to worry about. And our first barricade. I think all you do is approach it. I keep on trying to click on it because I'm so used to having to click on such things. Oh. A sergeant! Alright, Sarge, you're first. We'll try to get you out of the way first. Then we could concentrate on the goblin up there. Now, this seems to be where they really started having a large number of instances that supported single player, because we started getting that at the Bjorninghuis, in the Vales of Anduin, where you started to be seeing a couple instances. Actually, no, in the Grey Mountains. Yes, that's right. Up in the Grey Mountains is where you really started to see such things come along. You run to some of them in the Vales of Anduin. Just didn't want to go rushing past them too early or anything like that. In fact, the first two that we did, the lower level ones, they were in fact added to the game after the Veils of Anduin. So even the lower level ones, they tend to be ones that came out afterwards. So it's a relatively recent thing where they would have one player, three player, or six player versions of it. Usually having a one player and a full-size version are the ones that they would often have into there. That's something that's becoming more and more common of late. Let's take care of this sergeant. That's quite a number all at once. I don't know how I managed that problem. Oh, only have two. Okay, I thought those goblins were joining in the fray. No, they're too busy fighting somebody else. All right. And this particular release, Minas Morgul, is where the number of them really starts to go up significantly. Because so far, we had the Woe of the Willow and Narrow Delve. They were the first two that we ran into. Might be a good idea if I have a mite to eat before I head on into there. Is this next phase where I go? Yeah, here we are. I'm sure somebody else here is going to be wanting to attack us. Yeah, in fact, here they are. Right on cue. But in this case, in Minas Morgul, there were... How many dungeons were there in Minas Morgul? There are like 6 or 7 of them, all of them that have single-player versions. Now, of course, I'm ignoring the raid because raids, they don't traditionally get conversions for single players simply due to the mechanics and all that goes on in the raid. There you go. Oh, you're gonna die eventually? Yeah, thank you. All right. And now it's your turn. Maybe. I think our lag spike is finally over. So let's finish this guy off and head on in our way. Preferably without another... Oopsie-daisy. Oops. Oh, he spotted me too early. I was hoping to get an ambush in, but I got a little bit too close because I wanted to make sure that if there's somebody else nearby, I would have triggered them first. That's sort of the tricky thing in this one, since I keep on forgetting which ones are the active ones and which ones are just going to ignore you all the way through. So perhaps I should be a little bit more careful on figuring out which one is which. Like, but you can't click on any of the ones that are pure decoration. I guess I could use that as my criterion. If I can click on, I have to see if there are any that are not clickable until you get to a certain point, and then they become clickable. If that's the case, there's no sure test on the matter. First, let's take care of the sergeant here. And his friend. Anyway, this is the most straightforward of the dungeons that come with Minas Morgul. In fact, this might even be one of the most straightforward, period. In that there isn't really all that much. It's just come through orcs, kill them, continue on. The boss fights aren't really all that difficult or anything like that. And they get a lot more complicated as you go along. There we go. As we could see, because you got, like in the Filth Well, we'll have to worry about diseases and the like, which is a bit of a pain. But here, no disease. Okay, you got a couple of occasional defilers and things like that, but And you got healers with the sergeant. But the route isn't really all that difficult, at least compared to that of the other dungeons. I mean, yeah. I mean, occasionally I might say, okay, which way is it? Yeah, but it's definitely not a complicated layout as many of the others are. Let's see. Ah, the boss. Now, we do have those goblins there who I believe love to throw things at you. These foul worms have set upon us. You are to blame. I'll collect your bones for this. Ah. He knows about our ruse. Oh.
Gather round, you maggots.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Please. Don't give me. Really? You're going to give me a lag spike, and then you don't come back on until it's time to stun me? Really?
Rain fire upon them.
He cheats! That's it! He's going into the servers, causing lag.
Let loose.
Ouch. 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 Well, it's usually a lot easier than that because usually I don't have the server refusing to let me go. Alright. That's it. You'll pay for it.
Gather round, you maggots.
Yeah, gather around and watch Shakur die. Meh. Now, he has this tiny little chest here. Alright, we'll take care of that. Now, you get sigils of Imlad Ithil here, or whatever they do for you. And now it is your turn. Now we got Gothmog's group. Because once we pass the lieutenant for Ugrachor, we then run into where Gothmog's orcs have the advantage. And we have to now get through them for phase 2 of this. Now this instance has versions for 1, 2, and 3. I don't think there are any real differences between the 1 and 2 player versions. At least I don't think there are. I can't recall there being... Maybe there are extra morale or something like that. Anything on here that says here? Oh, no, that's just rage. I was wondering if that... Oh, I was expecting there to be 2 there because I was getting 2 all the way through. Ugrakor's group, alright. Yeah, okay, he has this rage thing going on in here. I was thinking, is there a solo mode buff or debuff involved in here? I don't see it, so it's probably then based on the mobs that they have in there. So they just probably have higher quality mobs as you go up in the size. But I can't remember whether the duo is based on the solo version or is it based on the small fellowship version, because sometimes it's exactly the same as the solo, sometimes it's slightly buffed from the solo, or sometimes it could just be a modification of the small fellowship. Like on skirmishes where you have the duo is essentially the small fellowship version of it with weakened opponents, where there's a debuff on the opponents, and there's just wanting to ambush our defiler here. There you go. Now, since this is the most straightforward one, and was one of the first dungeons to go through this whole thing of having one and all that stuff, there isn't really much in the way of rewards. You have the legendary item stuff that you get from here, and you get the Imlad Morgul rewards so that you could use it to barter for stuff. Those are the main things that I've seen in here. I don't think you get I think you have a small chance of getting some equipment drops in there, but I am not expecting a huge upgrade on this character here. Especially considering that this is the version of the character I'm on right now is the one that has completed the raid. And as a result of that, obviously I've gotten a little bit better equipment due to that. And as for you. And I think after this, do we have... have we had any more barriers to get across, or do we just have to get to Dargogosh and deal with him? Yeah, looks like, yeah, because that looks like a boss gate that I just saw come down. And, oh yeah, he has the war pact. Hi there, Dargosh. Who is next? I speak for Gothmog, wretched things! How dare you to face me? Right. Well, right. I speak for the Shire.
A pox upon you all!
Well, there's only one of me here. Oh. It looks like we've got company here. Well, you're down. Oh, apparently he's... Oh, the other one was just a greenie. I probably should have killed him first then. Anyway, that completes the instance. It does say /solo, not solo/duo, so I guess it might come close to answering the question I had there. I suspect that the duo is probably just buffing or debuffing one of the other ones. I can't see them having a special version for that, but who knows? I could be completely wrong. Alright, some sigils and... Okay, life tap damage. I think I've already got that one. And a relic of Minas Ithil. So... Apparently I hit a new rep level. Completed. The reclamation continues. Part 2. Alright, what did that say? Reputation changed. Oh, now I gotta find out which one of these is it. Reclaimers of Minas Ithil. That's called the Reclamation Continues too. The name for a rep level is that. Well, that concludes that little one, and this is the Harrowing of Morgul, one of the instances related to Minas Morgul. I guess next time we go for one of the more complicated ones. We return to the next episode of An Instance of One.